I've been in the industry for at least 30 plus years. I started at Qantas. I was there for 15 years, where I was at Qantas in the golden age of Qantas, where I learned from some of the best marketers in the business. At that time, I still call Australia home. So I got to do things that were really awesome, like in the market research department, where I spent my last couple of years to help create the I Still Call Australia Home campaign, do all the customer research around that, absolute passion for the customer voice, the traveler voice, and set off my lifelong career as a travel researcher. We all think we know everything about our customers. We live and breathe our product every single day. We know the ins and outs of our product and service. We obsess about our business and products and services. But guess what? Your customer doesn't. Your client doesn't. So this is why we need to have research and the customer at the focus of everything that we do. And it's more important than ever now, I feel, because I feel like our travelers, our ideal travelers, are moving a lot faster than we are as an industry. So there's a real disconnect and a dissonance there that can become dangerous to your growth. So I have literally, over my career, interviewed and surveyed thousands and thousands of travelers. I have helped hundreds of businesses, big and small, big brands you've heard of, small brands like B&Bs, grow their businesses because of this research. And growth comes in many ways. It can be in brand building, it can be in customer satisfaction, as I learned at Qantas. So I learned that little things like hairy arms really disturbed Japanese customers. You don't know that sort of stuff unless you really ask them in Japanese, of course. Things like if people had a really terrible service experience, it would impact the entire customer journey. So if the crew were crappy, they would rate the food as crappy, the in-flight entertainment crappy, the seat was small, everything. So we really do need to take this stuff seriously. So not just the customers, but also the changes in the marketing landscape, the changes in how the customers choose travel. Agents are at risk because travelers are asking questions like, why would I book with an agent when I can book it myself? But when they find an agent they love and see the value in booking with an agent, they're all in with you, like any service. There's a few reasons we're here today, and I've opened it up. 2025 is going to be the biggest year in travel. And the reason that is because of cashed up baby boomers. The baby boomer generation are ready to spend, they're retiring, they're semi-retired, and the golden currency that they have that nobody else has is time. They have time for multiple trips in a year, both domestic and international. They are planning multiple trips, domestic and international. They are paying for the trips of their extended family, of multi-generational. They are, yes, they're thinking about transferring some of their wealth, but right now they are literally living like there's no tomorrow. They are living like they're going to drop dead tomorrow, let me tell you. And COVID helped put mortality at the forefront of these people. So that is baby boomers. The high spending travelers are researching like they've never researched before. They are literally spending hundreds of hours a year, the high spenders, on researching travel. It's a hobby. They're not just looking for information. They are looking to you for inspiration, for helpful, useful, relevant information to help them plan their trip. So if you're an accommodation provider, you can't just talk about your accommodation anymore. You need to talk about what's around you. You need to give them itineraries. So in order to build your trust, reputation, and authority in the market, you need to help them with what they're going to do there. They don't want bored kids. They want to know what's on the way then as well, not just there. So again, if they're going to be spending all this time researching you, you've got to give them the information. If you don't, they are fickle. They will go on to the next place, the next region, the next town, the next product and service. So I'll talk about why content and content marketing is the key to everything and why it's never been so important. So you've probably heard the term content marketing before. It's a term that's bandied around, but what is it? It is providing content, as much content as possible on your website, and or your emails so that they can get that information, diminish the risk associated with booking with you. And here's the thing as well. So travel is for these people an extremely high involvement purchase. Yeah. So basically, boomers and the over 50s are where it's happening and they're researching heavily. And that's why you need content. You need to email your content because let's face it, we're marketing travel here. We're not marketing insurance or anything really boring. If they subscribe to your newsletter, they actually want to hear from you. And I want you to be thinking about sending something out at least every single week. You have to become comfortable with that. You have to become comfortable with unsubscribes, which is being comfortable with rejection, because that's the name of the game. In order to sell and market your property, your products and services, your tours, you have to remind them they're there over and over. And what I love about this demographic that I love to focus on is that they save these emails. So they may not look at them straight away, but they all have a little file where they go to when they start planning that particular journey. Because remember, they've probably got multiple journeys on the go at any one time. What we have now is AI, and in particular, generative AI. So when it comes to content marketing is something that to everybody in this room has really been inaccessible at scale. So what that means is we have digital marketers and agencies telling us we all need to do content marketing. Yes, we do. You've probably been on a course, you've probably been to a workshop that tells you need to create content. Now you know why, because they're spending hundreds of hours researching content. Now, here's the thing. It's never really been possible because you haven't had time to do it. You're chasing your tail. You're focusing on operation. You're getting the booking. You're cleaning the rooms. You're planning the itineraries. You may outsource it at a fairly high cost, but most likely you're probably doing nothing. What was not possible before is possible now to help you create content at scale really quickly, really awesome content. But there's a danger to that, is that I'm seeing everybody sounds the same. Every piece of travel content sounds the same. So even though AI, ChatGPT and generative AI has given us the power to create our social posts, create our emails and our blog pieces, they sound all the same. I interview travelers every week still. So research is still at the core of what I do. But even travelers are seeing really boring, generic sounding content with all the same words that everybody's using, they're noticing. So you really need to try and stand out and deliver your point of view. So research becomes your superpower. Going back to that voice as a customer becomes the superpower. So there's a lot happening, and that's, AI is pretty much an accelerator of growth for us because we can do things really quickly, but you have to be quite careful about doing things really quickly. We all have to remain relevant. So what I've been advising clients for many years, it's still pretty much the same. It's still evidence-based, but the key difference, what would have taken 6 months to a year to achieve, can now take a couple of weeks. So that's why it's now possible to grow really fast. So my message to you here today is you just can't keep doing stuff the old way. You need to start thinking about changing. You need to start thinking about not doing things differently or having AI replace anything that you do, because AI is something completely new. And that is really hard for us to get our brains around sometimes, but this is something new. And the way I like to describe AI is your really smart, socially awkward new personal assistant that will help you. And you need to train it like any new starter, any new employee. You need to train it from day one. You're going to have to correct it probably many times until they do the job as good as you. But it is possible. So there's a little bit of a learning curve if you've not been there before, but it is possible. I want to take you through the model that we use. It's a proven model. It's a system that if you follow and if you execute on, will deliver bookings faster than you've ever seen before. But the key is key. You are the key. Huh? So you actually have to execute on this stuff.